What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Auto. My name is Max, and today I'm taking you around the Id3 Gtx by VW. This is their Id3 hot hatch, basically hotish hatch, I would say. 326 horsepower, rear wheel drive, and as you might know, we have done a long-term test with a Cupra Born VZ, which is basically the same car. With a little bit more of a sporty edge. So we thought, let's have a look at the Id3 as well, the GTX, and see what it's like. Because I know that a lot of you don't really like EVs, but I still believe that anything and everything should be tested. So today I'm going to show you around it, show you the spec, show you the exterior, the interior, and then we'll take it for a drive. Now, the GTX gets a little bit more of a sporty look, so you get different bumpers. It's not too much. Of course, they cannot go like full aero because that would just be way too harmful to efficiency, but you get a more aggressive bumper with a little bit of a grating there. Nice color, this red, and I also quite like these wheels with that sort of fan design. This is a 20-inch wheel, and these are 215 tires all around. You get Bridgestone Terenzas, and these are Terenza Enlightens. Now this is a difference with the Born, because if you go for the most sporty, the lightest wheel and the most aggressive tire, you also have the option to turn off ESC altogether. That is not possible on the Id3 GTX. You cannot have a wheel tire combination that allows you to turn off the ESC, unfortunately. However, you do get more beefy suspension, which is nice, and I do quite like this design. GTX badge over there, some black stuff, black side skirts as well, and you get these pretty nice rear lights and a black, well, diffuser. Well, it's not really a diffuser, but a lower part of the bumper. It's got a 79 kilowatt hour battery. Charging it up from 10 to 80% takes 26 minutes. It peaks at 185 kilowatts, which is quite nice. That's actually quite quick. So it has a usable range. WLTP is up to 595 kilometers, and the fact that it charges up so quickly means that you can actually use it. Also get some pretty decent rear space. So this is behind myself. Well, not even. This is like I'm really far back in this particular car. So this is actually pretty good because I'm very tall. Little bit of a panoramic roof as well. And you also get these really good seats, these GTX seats. One piece with the integrated headrest. Good bolstering, nice and supportive, but still very comfortable. Little armrest as well, which is very comfy, and you can adjust it with this button below. This is super nice. It's, yeah, I am very far back. I don't need to be that far back, so this is actually more realistic. So it's a pretty spacious car for such a small thing. I think they've done a really good job managing the space in this car. I also feel like it looks a bit better than the Born. The Born looks more narrow than this for some reason. This looks a little bit more wide. I quite like that. I think it looks a bit better. The rest of the interior also pretty good, although I feel like the Cupra is definitely in the lead here because it has a much nicer interior. Materials that they use at Cupra are very good, and it also looks a bit more special than this car. This is a bit more generic, I would say. We do have the new infotainment, which works quite well, a lot better than before, at least. Driving modes, let's go to sport, and then if we go there, you can see the ESC Sport. It has rear wheel drive, as I said, but it's not possible to turn it off altogether, so that means that you cannot really do slides. However, if you sort of learn how to feather the throttle and give it some power at the right time, you can actually get it sideways on like roundabouts or 90-degree angle corners. All right, so let's head out. Maybe, I mean, this is a little bit soft as well, so see, it will pivot, which is very nice. it completely changes the way you drive this car, because it becomes something that is potentially like a little bit more fun, but also the balance of the car is completely different because you have rear-wheel drive. So you use that to sort of pivot the car to get it to turn, which means that it feels, well, not fun to drive, but it's a satisfactory driving experience. It's satisfying when you drive it. You're like, it's good. The controls are good. Steering, it's a little bit more dead than in the Cupra, I would say. I think the Cupra gives you a little bit more feel, but still controls are weighted well. Good brakes as well, and it is also pretty damn quick. Now, of course, we know that because it's basically a Cupra born, but still, it's I like it. Turn it in. So you don't really have understeer when you give it throttle. So because you have immediate power delivery, normally you would push the front forwards. But with this, if you just give it a little bit, see, it squeals those rear tires, but it does turn the car from the rear, which is nice. Now, it's not really a hot hatch. I don't think they meant it like that. See, there it goes. But it is a quick ID3 with the right ingredients, with beefed up suspension. Now, because you have a very low center of gravity, the anti-roll bars don't have to be super stiff, and the suspension, the dampers, everything is set up well, and that means that you can drive it pretty hard on roads like this, on B roads that have some bumps and some potholes and stuff like that. Also, we get the dampers, the DCC dampers, adaptive ones or adjustable ones, so you can use the slider in individual mode with 15 settings, which works really well. So you can also go for everything in sport, which is usually what I do, sport, and then have the individual dampers in comfort mode, which means that you can just haul ass on a B road because the suspension is really good and it soaks everything up, but you still have the sportier power delivery, which is nice. VW also recently announced that they are going to introduce an electric Golf GTI with over 300 horsepower. So they really are doubling down on this whole electric hot hatch thing. Okay, so 0 to 100, 5.7 seconds according to VW. Now I do have to say we have like 38% battery. I have to return it soon, and this was the only moment I found to do a review. So yeah, normally we also would like to charge it up to 100% at least, or at least 80%, but it still does 5.6 seconds. So no worries, scratch that. I didn't say anything. This is good. I like this. I like the fact that you don't lose that much power, apparently, or any power, when you have 38% compared to full. Now, why, at the beginning I said that I quite like this, or EVs as daily cars. But I particularly like this because this feels easy to use. It feels practical and relatively small, so it feels like an efficient package, like something that is well thought out, and I like that. I also really like the fact that, let me just demonstrate, when you use this car in your daily life, we tend to get in and out a car a lot on a day, like maybe 8 to 12 times, and when I drive this car, I get into the car, you know, seatbelt on, foot on the brake, like that, and I'm off. And in that respect, I like EVs because it feels very convenient. It feels quick. So you cannot really do anything beyond a certain angle. When you do a 90 degree or a roundabout, sometimes it will allow you to do a little bit more. But I like the balance. The balance is good. They've set this thing up well. You have a super low center of gravity, of course, and that just gives you such a good base to start with, because that just means that the car always feels very planted, and it changes direction in a nice way. It weighs 2,000 kilos, but you wouldn't really say that when you drive it. So we've had a little rain over here, so maybe, yeah, see, a little bit more of an angle there. I like that. This is a very basic a basic check mark for me, that you get to do that, and the car feels like it actually enjoys doing it, and you're not really stressing the car too much by doing it. It feels like it's okay to do it. And that's what I mean when I say I feel like what the hell is that kind of plane? Look at that. Is that a Hercules or an Antonov? That's massive. I get so distracted sometimes. Anyway, big plane. Boys will be boys, right? As I said at the beginning, I feel like we have a responsibility to test anything and everything before we pass judgment. Before we form an opinion about the car, we need to test it. So that's what we do. And I'm being honest when I say that I feel like this car has something. It has something that makes it enjoyable. And I feel like a lot of cars can have that. They can have something that sets them apart, something in their driving experience or in their, I don't know, interior, whatever, that gives you some sort of satisfaction from driving it. For this car, it's the efficient package, the easy to operate everything, and the fact that it's rear-wheel drive and that you get to enjoy that balance a little bit. So yeah, that's it for this review. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. Check out this video, this playlist, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.